Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to Yoga, Pilates, Wellness from an Ayurvedic wellness counselor perspective. So today we are here, and as promised, I'm Natalie. Just to remind you, as promised, I wanted to touch base on the transition that's about to happen. And we all may have had the experience over the weekend where we had to fall back or spring forward rather now because we're going into spring. So, spring and fall, we believe in Ayurveda is the best time to cleanse, reboot, and just start to reevaluate how whatever you've been doing for the past few months. So during the winter months, there are all these holidays and all these celebrations where we eat and we do all kinds of things. And we also stay more stagnant most of the times with most people, just in terms of travel or in terms of food and celebration, we're out of our routine. So spring, as we approach spring, I believe it's March 21st or the 22nd this year, it's a good time to evaluate and reboot and reset. All right. And one of the ways to do that is just simply waking up earlier. This is a season where in Ayurveda we call it kapha. It's a season where all of the things that were stagnant and heavy will start to melt. And you'll find that maybe people are having allergies or they have a little bit more inflammation or their eyes are itching as things start to bloom. This is an opportunity for us to be more introspective about what we need to do as individuals to help that. So some of the subtle things that we could do is adding warm water first thing after we brush our teeth, getting up earlier, like around 5:30, between 5:30 and 6:30 is ideal. And all these things are contingent upon your body's constitution. So that's specified based on what your needs are, the things that are going to align with you specifically. If you're fairly healthy and you are checking in with your primary care and everything feels balanced, you don't have any evidence of imbalance, and that could be, everything from just having clear skin or feeling refreshed when you wake up and having a healthy movement, bowel movement when you use the bathroom. Those are all indicators of being in good health, right? But having said that, I also want to say something as subtle as color, starting to wear lighter colors and, starting to get out in the world and breathe in the fresh air. All these things are good. One of the best things I love to do, I actually do it all year long, but that's given I'm in a good, healthy space, is just lubricating my body. So for me personally, one of my go-tos is something we do in Ayurveda, which is called Nasya, and it's a great way to lubricate pretty much the ear, nose, and throat, and all those sensory channels that we have in our face. And if it's brand new to someone, I would never recommend, hey, go out and get this product and start using it tomorrow. But if you find that you're a person that does suffer from dryness in the eyes or you have allergies or in general, it's really, really useful. And Nasya is basically a form of lubrication where you put these herbal drops and you insert them into the nasal cavity. You do it, but you don't eat. You have a nice duration of about an hour between the time you do it and the time that you can eat, as well as before. And it's wild. It's incredible for your voice. So if you're someone that has to speak for a living or you sing, it's wonderful in terms of having just that less inflammation. It's great in getting rid of any stagnation or mucus that you may have in your face. But I just wanted to share that with you as a nice tidbit. And going forward, I'll kind of drop little hints here and there of spring and ways that we can promote the spring as I'm watching the trees blow and the flowers and leaves fly outdoors here. But more importantly, your workouts. So it's a great time to, if you're physically well, and I'll always repeat these caveats because I really want to be sure that you are listening to your body and you're not following a woman that's on YouTube that has lots of wellness background, but you still definitely want to be respectful to your body. All right. So that being said, today we're going to focus on something that so many people are familiar with, Virabhadrasana, so the warrior series in yoga. And we will again start with a breathing exercise. And today I've chosen Samavriti. And Samavriti is basically another really gentle breathing exercise that's very, very welcoming for all. It's a great way to calm your nerves. It's awesome right before you eat to kind of ground yourself and get your body ready to digest food. And some of you may have already done it. So before I get into the specifics, I'm going to set you up so we can get over to the yoga mat. All right. And then if we have time at the end, we will do a little bit of our mat Pilates. Okay. I'm going to scoot back here. And start the day. All right. So getting onto your mat, getting all ready, getting your spring and all of the goodness. Find a seated position. If you have any pain in the lower body generally and it doesn't feel good for you to cross your legs, get a seat. If you feel like you're comfortable and you can do it without any support, great. I love using the wall, especially in the morning. And if you go to review this again, you can do this particular breathing exercise when you get up, before you eat food, before you go to bed. Those are all great times. So what you're going to do is you're going to close your eyes. You're going to calm your nervous system by just doing some simple breathing. Check in, feel how you're feeling in your body. Notice if there's any tightness or discomfort. And then once you get to a place where you're really centered, you're going to picture a beautiful golden box, all right in front of you. Okay, find the golden box, see the golden box, and then what you'll do is as we breathe, you're basically going to follow the path of drawing outside of your golden box, all right? So we're going to inhale for 4 counts, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hold that inhale for 4 more counts. We're going to exhale for another 4 counts. And finally, we'll hold again for 4 more counts, right? So really simple, right? As we breathe in, we'll literally do 5 rounds, okay? So we'll breathe in, you'll breathe in. I'm going to draw the box here. So that way you have the opportunity to do it with me guiding you, and then we'll do it together, okay? So I'll do 2 rounds for you, and then we'll do 2 rounds together. Here we go, all right? Breathe in through the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Again, on your own, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3. With me, breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Last round. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And return to your natural breathing. All right? How does that feel? Probably really relaxing. So here we are centered, right? So I would love to do Virabhadrasana today, and these are the warrior poses. If you have any arthritis, you have balancing issues, hip replacements, anything where you are challenged in a lunge, not today, right? If you are in a position where you're working with a physical therapist and you recognize these poses, or you have someone that's supporting you, you can even use a wall. All right, but today, for those of you who are just completely healthy and you're familiar, we're gonna get into it, all right? Before we begin, just for the sake of warming up, I'm gonna take my socks off and we'll do some simple cat-cows. Cat-cows are great for all, right? Most, I should say, even pregnant women, these are really great things to do. Palms go down on the floor. You can have your toes just relax behind you. I sometimes like to tuck my toes in between, but you're welcome to keep your feet in a completely neutral position. So from here, you're gonna breathe in, round your back, in through the nose, and then you're gonna exhale, arch the back, open the chest. Same thing again. Inhale, round your back, drop the head, hold the body, navel up. Exhale, arch the back, open the chest, lift. All right, so from there, you can kind of see where my pelvis is going, but I'm gonna take my sweater off so you can see that my upper body is also working, right? And I'm not dumping into my lower back. That's a really important part, all right? So palms down, you're gonna breathe in as you round your back. Exhale, arch the back, open the chest, right? When you're here, your abdomen is still connected. You're not just dropping down. Again, round your back, drop the head, arch the back, open the chest, feel the palms in the floor, and again, round your back, pull the navel in, and arch the back, open the chest. Twice more, round your back. And arch the back. Did you see that last bit? Like my upper back wasn't as round. All right, so again, from here, your body's in an arched position. This is all pulled up. Pull the navel in, drop the head, curl the spine underneath. Sometimes I like to tuck so I get a little bit more. Letting the head be really, really heavy. Pulling the navel up. Then arch the back, open the chest. Last one. Exhale, round your body, pull the navel in and up, push the palms against the floor, almost as if you were going to go into a push-up position. And arch the back, pull the chest up. All right, and now you're going to return to a neutral position, okay? So from here, if it's in your practice, we did this last week, mountain pose, AKA downward dog. You'll tuck your feet, drop the head, and just take about 5 breaths here. If this is uncomfortable for you, you might want to stay here, okay? Otherwise, if you're comfortable and you have the bandwidth, if your knees don't straighten, you can keep your knees bent. If they do, try to work on your hips going up, pushing your heels down to the floor, all right? If you don't have that, you can keep the heels up and just keep the knees bent. The goal is to get a nice long spine. Don't hyperextend your chest and drop your ribs. Pull the shoulder blades down, pull the ribs in, and keep the palms strong, all right? Take 5 breaths here, breathe in. Exhale. Again, breathe in. Exhale, pushing the palm of the hand down into the floor, breathe in. Exhale. 2 more deep breaths, breathe in. Just allow your head to shake a little bit, let it get nice and heavy. 1 more time, take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, dump the air. Good, all right? From this position, I'm gonna step forward and get ready to come up for a lunge, right? So usually when you start the Virabhadrasana, the warrior 1 position, you step a foot back. I'm gonna do this, the left foot first, just for the sake of the mirror so you can see my body. Okay, I'm gonna move back so you can see the crown of my head. All right, so when you step back, you're coming from that position we worked on last week when we did the Surya Namaskar position. So you'll start in a nice, simple, clean position. Step your foot back. I'll tell you, usually it's the left foot back. You'll step that foot back into a lunge, right? And then you'll bend the front knee, right? If everything's feeling happy, the knees are good, you're in a great place, right? From there, the back leg's gonna turn out, so you'll drop that heel down, right? As long as the knees are happy. When you have this back heel down, the foot doesn't hang out, you don't sink into the bones. You lift up in the navel, you wrap the outside of the foot so that ankle is active and the arch is active, right? So both feet, it's almost like you're pushing against the ground, right? This will be your 2 later, right? From that place, Your ribs are going toward the front. So this foot may not be that turned out for everyone, right? You might need to start here, right? So it's just halfway. But ultimately, we're going from here, the lunge position with your heel lifted, and you're just gonna drop down without changing your pelvis, right? Inhale, reach the arm up here. Take a nice deep inhale. Feel the navel lift up. Feel the rib cage keep working toward the front of the room, and take 3 deep breaths here to start. Exhale. Again, breathe in. Feel the back leg outside of the foot. Exhale. One more deep inhale. Exhale. Good. From that position, straighten the front leg and step forward. Okay? Now, if that felt terrible, please don't repeat it. But if it felt approachable, let's go into the second leg. All right? And then we'll mix it up and we'll combine it. All right? So again, this is not necessarily advanced, but if you're injured and you're having any physiological problems with your bones, back, and hips, it's not something you want to practice, right? And we're just learning here. We didn't even really begin the practice yet, right? Second leg, opposite leg goes forward. Go into that lunge you started with. Remember, the hands are going to start in this position. Put the opposite leg back, and this is great because then you'll be able to take my pelvis on this side. From here, drop the back heel down. All right, again, if you feel any pressure in the knee, you're going to go back to where you were. If you find that you're dumping in your back, definitely bend the back knee, hold the navel in. This is another alternative. But if you have peace with keeping that leg long, it's a great place to begin. Drop the heel down and breathe here. Then reach the arms up. You're going to do 3 breaths like you did on the first side. All right, here we go. Breathe in. Exhale. Again. Breathe in. Exhale. Notice my gaze is forward. I'm not doing the full extension yet. Breathe in. Exhale. Good. And then bring it on forward. Turn that foot back in. Move forward. Bring the legs together. All right? So if those 2 moments went well for you, fantastic. If they didn't, maybe just stay focused in the beginning on being here in a smaller position with a nice bend. This is a great place to start. Also, you could use the wall, bend the knee, starting in the position, right? Especially if you have a full use of your body, but you just want to start to build the muscles, right? All right, moving along. We're going to go into Warrior 2, right? So before we go into Warrior 2, we'll go 1 into 2, all right? So we're going to keep it just as simple as we did the first time. Both hands go to that prayer position. One leg goes back, all right? And I'm going to start with this outside leg. And then from here, take a nice deep breath, lower that heel, reach the arms up for Warrior 1. Good, and then you're gonna simply pivot the body so it turns outside, both arms are gonna reach out, right? While I'm here, I'm not kind of hanging out. My pelvis is not in askew, right? My pelvis is trying to hang in the middle of the space as I wrap the outside of my knee open, making sure my knee stays stacked with my ankle, right? You should feel a nice awareness in the hip, all right? Also, my pelvis is not ringing out. You will see this on when I do the second side. My pelvis is not sticking out. So the arms are reaching here. We'll do 3 breaths like we did on the first side. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Good. From here, you can twist and pivot this way and step forward. All right? If that's too difficult for you, you can literally just straighten the leg and bring the legs together. All right? We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. You will see the back of my body, so I can show you the pelvis should not be sticking out. Your butt should not be swaying out. Your hips and your pelvis and your glutes should be working together to come together so the glutes are working as you resist the floor. Okay? So we're starting from that position where our palms are together in prayer. Move one foot back into that lunge we started with. Turn the back leg down if it's appropriate for your body. Again, if you feel discomfort, maybe the first side was fine. Maybe you need to find the wall for the second. From this position, reach the arms out to the second. Notice my hips aren't reaching this way. They're supposed to be going downward as this knee is working out. Knee and heel are aligned. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. My arms are literally reaching in the opposite direction of each other. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more deep breath. Have awareness in both feet. Both feet are resisting the floor. Good. And then from here, you'll pivot back and then you'll go forward. All right. Remember, the other option is straightening that leg and stepping forward. All right. Because it's all out of sequence right now. We're not doing it in a full combination of all of the yoga poses, right? We're just learning all the 3 warrior poses, aka Virabhadrasana. All right. So now we're going to move into some people's favorites. So for this next one, I advise you, if it's not in your wheelhouse, to balance on one foot. Or if you can't just stand and lift a leg, and you usually can balance, or you can do it kind of like with one leg off the floor, and this is it. But like I said in the beginning, if you have any issues with balance, it's not for you, right? Going into Warrior 3, and we'll combine this in a minute, you're literally just going to start in that same position that you were in earlier, right? Palms together. Reach one leg behind you and just let your leg float off the ground, all right? If this is hard on you, you can also soften the knee while you're in midair. Just keep the hands today to the chest. Notice my knee is bending. Reach through the back of that heel so the leg is active, all right? And then from here, you're going to take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Hips are parallel to the floor. Breathe in. Have awareness of your big toe, pinky toe, and heel. And notice that it's moving a bit. And one more deep breath, breathe in, and exhale. And then just come together to that standing pose, all right? Same thing, opposite leg. Here we go, reach the opposite leg back. Nice and strong, palms still stay to the chest, 3 breaths. Breathe in, reach the back leg. You can bend the supporting leg if you need to. And again, inhale, exhale. Good. 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Exhale. Feel your upper back so your body's not falling. Reach through the leg while it's suspended in the air. Pinky toes facing the floor. And bring the legs together. All right? It should feel so good in the body. It's like you're alive. You know, the back of the legs are working, the glutes, the abdomen is engaged. The feet are on the floor being used. They're not sort of hanging out like potatoes, right? When you have your feet on the ground for all of these poses, it's like you're going to take off, right? You want really powerful legs and an active abdomen, okay? All right, so now we're going to combine the first and the second, all right? So we'll go starting very simply with the first 2 poses, and then we'll try to combine 2 movements with our Surya Namaskar. That could be really nice, all right? Here we go. Starting in that prayer position, moving the front leg behind you into the lunge. Lower that heel down. Give me 3 breaths. Breathe in. So we're starting with 3 breaths. Exhale. If it feels good to you, you can look up. Exhale. If it feels like you can activate both legs and pull your navel and bring your hands together. Good. And then bring the hands to the prayer position and move to Warrior 2. Okay, and the leg should be talking to you like, yeah, it's being used, all right? Now look over to the hand that's in front of the bent knee and breathe into it. Breathe in, reach both arms out. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. 1 more deep breath. And exhale. Good, and from here, if it's appropriate, you're gonna pivot and go back to the front leg. If that's too much, you'll stay, straighten, and return, okay? Second leg, how did that go? I hope it was simple, all right? These are going to look familiar to you if you have a yoga practice, all right? Second side, starting in the prayer position or the palms together. Opposite leg goes back. Good, into that nice lunge. Drop that heel down, all right? Find action in both feet. So if somebody walked by, the legs should not jiggle. It should be strong, all right? From here, reach the arms up for 3 breaths. You can start here, breathing in, and you can stay here. Exhale, feeling your pelvis anchor downward. Inhale. Exhale. If it's okay to look up, do it on this side like you did on the first. 1 more breath. Good. Get ready to pivot into the warrior two position. Arms are going to reach away from the body. Shoulder blades go down. Let those fingertips reach like there are two people pulling you in either direction. Press the feet into the floor. Breathe 3 times. As you look over that middle finger, as you reach the palms out. The one finger that's reaching past the bent knee. Breathe in. Exhale. Feel your back leg. Wrap that leg down. Breathe in. Exhale. One more deep inhale, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Great. All right, from here, bring it back to the first place and come back into the prayer position. All right, so everything's nice and warm. It feels like you're utilized. When you're doing these movements, especially this time of year, it's strength building, it's muscle building, and it's really great if you have any sort of if you're looking to build bone density, right, and you have permission to move into this way. So now we're going to move it into warrior 3, all right? Are you ready for it? So nice and simple. These simple things you can do, especially if you don't have time to do a full hour-long workout, it's a great place to start, okay? Here we go. Moving to that same prayer position. Inhale. Exhale. Reach that leg back into the lunge position. Go to your warrior 1. Breathe in. Look up if it's available to you. 3 breaths here. 2 breaths. Both legs are working. Reach toward the sky. Feel the feet push away from the floor. Good. Open up to the second warrior. Breathe in. Exhale. Reaching both arms, pulling the navel in. Feel the legs actively. 1 more deep breath. Good. And then from here, you're going to pivot back to that lunge position. Let your body go forward to warrior 3. You didn't expect that. All right, take a nice deep breath in this position. If it's too hard on the knee, bend the knee. Reach that back leg out. Take a nice deep breath. Feel the pinky toe and big toe face the floor. Hips are parallel to the ground. Good. If you feel really good, you can reach the arms out like an airplane to the side body. Pull the navel in. If you feel even better, you can reach the arms long, reach the heel back. Great, and then come back to that prayer position. All right, how did that go? I hope it was amazing. Let's go to the second side, same thing. All right, remember, try your best to feel the floor. Utilize the floor as if you're resisting the floor. Don't let your body hang on for dear life, right? If you feel like you can't breathe in the position, you may need to do 1 breath. If you feel like it's too difficult, you may need to skip it. If you feel like you're challenged, but you can still actively breathe, it's a good place to begin, all right? Same thing, second side. Starting in the prayer position, reach that back leg back, nice and strong to the warrior 1 position. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Feel both legs. Breathe in. Feel the outside of the back foot. And 1 more deep breath. Exhale. Reach the arms into warrior 2. Reaching both fingertips. Good. You want to have the heel going to the heel. All right, so both heels should line up. Breathe in. Exhale. Feel the pelvis nice and centered. Inhale. And exhale. From here, pivot. Bring the arms up to that warrior 1 position. Come forward to warrior 3. Back leg lifts up. Both of the hands are at the heart. Reach that back heel. Pinky toe and big toe faces down. Breathe 3 times. Reach through the heel. Make sure your back's not falling down. Lift your upper back so you get those trapezius muscles and rhomboids active. Pull the navel in. Feel the pelvic floor muscles. And come back to the starting position. Wonderful. All right. So the whole lower system, the glutes and all of the hips, hip flexors, abdomen, you have really explored a lot of the lower systems with the assistance of your abdomen, which we call also in the Pilates world, the powerhouse, right? So the relationship of both are super useful. If you find that one side of the body feels a little bit weaker or stronger than the other, it's usually the case, especially because we're a car culture here in LA. All right, from here, let's just do one more thing. We're gonna do one more thing before we go into our Pilates, right? Because I wanted to make sure I had a little bit of time for that, right? In fact, let's skip the Pilates and do this, and then we'll end with breathing. And since we're almost out of time, all right? So go to the top of the mat. We had our 12-step Surya Namaskar last week, all right? So we're gonna combine a really simple sequence on the right and then on the left, all right? Starting in that position where the hands are to the heart, both palms together, all right? Breathe and reach the arms up. This is position 2. You're gonna fold forward, bend the knees if you need to, drop the head. Good, from here, allow one knee to go back. Feel the chest open to stretch. And you've been doing these every day since I saw you last. Both palms down, hips up to mountain pose, to that downward dog position. Good, going down to the 8 points, right? Chin, chest, both palms, both feet, both knees. Go through, hold the navel in, do a little cobra. Good, go back to that downward dog / mountain pose position, breathe into it. Good, and today instead of going back to the beginning, we're gonna go to the warrior 1 position. Let that heel go down, breathe. Good, come back to the hands to heart position, go back to the downward dog position, AKA mountain pose. Same thing, other knee goes forward. Back to that warrior 1 position. Good, bring it back to the mountain pose position, hips go up, nice and high. Good, go down to the floor, back to the 8-point position. Go all the way through, pull the navel in, lift your chest. And finally go back up to the mountain pose and breathe here for 5 breaths. Exhale. Good, and you can even do Ujjayi breath, which we haven't talked about yet, but it's basically all through the nose. And you can actually hear like a nice sound while you breathe. It's nice and warming internally. One more deep breath. Good, and then we're going to step the left foot forward this time, or the opposite foot you began with. Come back to both feet, drop the head. Good, inhale, reach the arms up. And bring the hands to the heart. Great, how did that go for you? I hope it worked really well, all right? So today we did primarily yoga. We talked about a little bit of the spring season and ways to start to incorporate the transition. You know, seasonal eating is really the way to go. So if there is a opportunity for you to just find that when you go to the grocery store, even if you have, I mean, we have farmers markets in California every single day. So there's really no reason why not. But one of the great things to start adding specifically in the spring season is beets, apples, and fresh greens, fresh fruits, pears. There's so many. I'm going to bring a nice list, and maybe next week at 12:30, I would share a recipe with you. Something that you could do in the morning and drink that would be really delicious. That could be cleansing, given you are being respectful at all the other hours. Because as we know, actual food intake is like 90% of the change that everyone is seeking when they think of losing weight or being better in terms of how they are on the exterior, right? With that being said, thank you so much for joining me here. Remember, all you have to do is show up and we'll do the rest together. And we'll end with a really simple, basic breathing exercise like we normally do. And then I will see you next week here, Thursday at 12:30. All right, here we go, starting with the eyes closed. Feeling the difference in your body. Notice if there's anything that may be more tight, or if you feel better. Just notice any differences. And then take a nice deep inhale into the nose. We'll do 5. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 10. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 6. Inhale for 2. Exhale for 4. Inhale 1. And relax. Good. I hope you feel better, and I hope that you feel fulfilled. All right. Looking forward to seeing you next week here at YouTube Live. Talk to you soon.